Hi, Todd Pouliot, Gateway Financial, My Gateway Money. Feel free to hit that like button down below. I'd much appreciate that. And subscribe to our channel as we continue our flow charts and checklist bundle that we've been working on is starting a new job bundle that includes 5 different workflows and checklists that we have. Again, just to repeat those, should I roll over my dormant traditional 401k? What should I consider when starting a new job, which will be the main focus of this video? What accounts should I consider if I want to save more? What issues should I consider if I got a promotion or raise at work? And also pay stub review. So feel free to look at those videos elsewhere on my channel. Today, we're going to talk about the starting a new job and some main areas that this comprehensive checklist involves are cash flow and income, employee benefits, retirement plan and deferred comp, and some other planning issues. And this is a comprehensive checklist, the types of issues that advisors should be discussing with their clients who are starting a new job. The change can have a great financial impact on your planning and help make a client the most of their life transition. So again, when a client starts a new job, this shift can come with a number of changes that might impact the financial situation, both positively and negatively. In this checklist, we'll focus on reviewing 4 potential impacts of that change. Again, cash flow and income, employee benefits, retirement plans, deferred compensation, and other issues. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready to share our screen as we always do for you. And here we are. The first cash flow issue is, will the client's income and expenses change during their new job, and any adjustments that should be reflected in a new income spending plan? So has your income changed substantially? Yes or no? Do you need to update your cash flow planning? Review your pay stub, and don't forget to look at our flow chart that we did a video on earlier. Account for any new or lost employer perks, cellular benefits, health and wellness incentives, professional development, and other assistance programs. Very important, not always brought out during negotiations when you're looking for a new position, but those are things that can add up in that life change. Adjust your budget as necessary for any additional commuting, home office, or other out-of-pocket expenses. Part 2 is employee benefits. Should you review benefits offered by the new employer, especially health insurance, to gauge the impact on the financial situation? Also, if you have an FSA dollars left at your former employer, be sure to use this money and not to lose it. So are there any significant changes in the amount of employer provided benefits? And consider what those include or do not include, including disability coverage. And will your health insurance coverage change as a result of taking the new job? I know my spouse and I, we spend a lot of time going over this annually, and health insurance coverage seems to be one of the hardest decisions we have every year. And do you have an HSA with your former employer, and do you expect to have one with your future employer? Be cognizant of contributions reaching the single limit and also family limit, and you may have to do that early if your new employer does not offer an HSA program. And again, very important that you don't lose the money in your FSA, and check with your employer to see if they have COBRA continuation coverage for the FSA. If you do have that, just make sure you plan well with that. And each FSA has its own annual limits, and they are not combined, so be cognizant. Again, those are yes and no answers. Retirement plans and deferred compensation. If your client participated in a retirement plan with a former employer, we need to decide whether or not what to do with their account. Leave it, roll it over to an IRA, or roll it into the new employer plan. A lot of strategy involving that, a lot of calculations, and a lot of really good heart-to-heart discussions. Make sure you check with any stock options, deferred compensation you may also have with your former employer. You should also review the entire retirement plan options offered by your new employer, and be sure to contribute as soon as you become eligible to implement and invest a strategy that aligns with your overall portfolio. Sometimes there's a 6-month and possibly a 1-year waiting period for your new employer. Be cognizant of those rules before you take that job. So if you do have it with your former employer, Should I roll over my dormant traditional 401k? Great video for you to go review that we've already posted online here on our channel. And will you have a new plan at your new employer? If not, make sure you contact HR. Hey, how do we get one going here? How do we make sure that this is the benefit for all, especially when unemployment rate is so low right now? That's a great key benefit for a lot of employers to offer. And any equity compensation, make sure you understand what those rules are within the new company that you're going to be working for. Any unvested stock options with your former employer, you may lose those unvested stock options. So make sure you understand those rules. And any vested stock options, if so, consider the following: review exercise periods. And if you were terminated for cause, your vested stock options might be canceled. Be cognizant of those issues. And do you have any deferred compensation with your former employer? Review your plan document, understand the vesting schedule, distribution options available, and a yearly or a lump sum option that you may choose. A lot of people, once they leave their former employer, feel that they want to cut ties completely, not only for emotional reasons or job security reasons, but the company may not be stable. Be very cognizant, deferred comp, and how that might be if you have an unstable company that you're leaving. And did you own stock or stock options in a private company for which you were also employed? Consider the impact of the shares being liquid and if there are any clawback or repurchase rights. Tax planning issues. Do you expect there to be any changes in your taxable income due to change in salary? Work with your enrolled agent or CPA tax preparer to discuss those and how to review those. Again, we did a wonderful video about looking at your paycheck stub and how to review that and plan for tax planning. Do you need to make estimated income tax payments? Do you receive severance pay from a former employer or claim unemployment benefits? Will or did you sell your primary residence to relocate for your new job? You may be eligible for an exclusion and partial exclusion of capital gains. Good thing to review with your tax preparer as well. And will you need to file income tax returns in multiple states? Understanding and knowing that. Again, work with a quality CPA and tax preparer. Other planning issues are, will the client's compensation move them into a tax bracket change? Big discussion to understand, big discussion of whether or not you're going to contribute to a Roth 401k or IRA or traditional 401k or IRA. Adjust your withholdings accordingly. Again, that paycheck stub review video touches on that. And look at tax planning opportunities. And again, were you subject to any non-compete or restrictions as part of your job? Very big issue for a lot of states. Those rules are very different. Understand what your rules are in your state, and also if you've moved to a new state, what those rules are. So that non-solicitation agreement, review it, understand those terms. And do you have any student loans? Check if your new employer offers student loan repayment. That's a great new benefit that we're seeing a lot of larger employers have. Good tool to use if it's available to you. And eligibility for loan forgiveness or discharge programs. There's some different types of programs out there. Each individual needs to review their particular circumstances in student loans. And adjust your payments and are considering refinancing as it's appropriate. Be cognizant of those refinance options and how they work. Again, a completely separate issue, and we'll have another video on that. And do you need to update your contact information for emergency contacts, professional organizations, licenses, networking platforms, etc.? Make sure you take action on those. Don't leave any loose ends with your former employer or experience any gaps in communications. Several times at the end of somebody's working life, they'll come to us with several different old 401ks that it really is very difficult to track down those accounts because an employer may change record keepers and it may go through 3 or 4 different iterations over 20 years. So be cognizant that your former employers, if you choose to leave that 401k with an old employer, that they know how to get a hold of you. And also professional organizations, if you have to be licensed with a certain state, make sure that they know that you have moved. Even if it's within the same state, a lot of those professional organizations, or where you have to have your license mandate that you do that, possibly within 30 days. So make sure you have that updated as quickly as possible. Again, I appreciate you all coming back, watching this video. Again, this is from a series that I've done on job changes, and I hope you get a chance to look at our other videos. Otherwise, we'd have videos that are an hour long and probably too long to review and look at. But we appreciate you coming in. We're going to keep these flow charts and checklists coming as we see appropriate on what we're seeing that people are asking for. Feel free to reach out to us at mygatewaymoney.com, and our email address and some more information are in there. If you have any questions for us directly, we'd love to have you communicate with us, and we appreciate those of you who have submitted questions to us. Again, like that thumbs up button. We appreciate that, and we definitely appreciate you subscribing and sharing our video with others. And want you to all have a great day, and we appreciate you being here. Thanks again.